And welcome to the second round of the Ledgestone Insurance Open presented by Discraft. I am Tournament Director Nate Heinold, and I am joined once again by Ledgestone Champion and four-time World Champion Paul McBeth.
Thanks for having me again, Nate. Well, we got the chase card today. We got Matt Orum, Nate Sexton, Kevin Jones, and Matt Dollar.
I'm excited to see these guys. I've seen Kevin a couple times. Really exciting player. Excited to see the rest of them as well.
Yeah, I actually got to play with Matt Dollar the first round here, and we're going to see some creative lines today. So I look forward to that again. But right now we got hole 1, par 4, 633 feet. And this is a great starting hole, Nate.
All I have to say about this hole is sure.
Yeah, it's a fun one. It can really change your round like early, like first hole of the round, first shot of the round, and you can be in trouble.
I've seen some big scores here. I've seen some sevens. This hole actually played exactly to par for this round. So it is playing easier than in years past, and I think part of that reason is the drop zone is a little bit easier.
Yes, the drop zone's easier. I think the wind's been down on this hole since previous years, and I think people are just figuring it out. You know, I said that last round, but I think they're really starting to figure out how to play this and not try to bite off too much. No. Oh, he didn't like that. I think it might just hyzer into that water if it's got a little too much height.
And that's just the mistake you don't want to make. If you go OB, you want to go OB long right. You don't want to go in the water. It's a long drop zone shot.
Yeah. If you're in the water, I mean, you're really only moving up 80 feet, and it's 633 feet, so that's not much distance. So it'll be interesting to see what he does from there, whether he goes for it or not.
It looks like the wind did pick up a little bit as the afternoon went on. You can kind of see the Discraft banners blowing from right to left. That's not the best wind for this hole. You kind of want it going the other way to get it off the lake.
Yeah, this is a tricky wind. I don't think I've played with it going this way yet, but Nate's going with the forehand. Maybe to counter that wind, but
that's got to sit down.
That's an extremely safe play from him. I'm curious to see what he does from there, because that's a long upshot.
He's probably only 300 feet, but it probably plays for 400 because of the uphill.
Yeah, up the hill, and then you can't really go long, so it's a tough distance to gauge. And then here's a long thrower for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets close to circle 2 right now. Oh, that needs to be an overstable disc right here. Yeah, it's coming back nice. Yeah, we got the good distance there. Maybe about 170 feet left.
Matt Dollar.
You kind of want to be throwing from the flat if you can. Obviously, that's easier said than done. But that's where you kind of want to be throwing from.
Yeah, and it's tricky off the tee because you don't know whether it's safe or not. You know, you can know your distance, but it can just carry down that hill once it's on the other side. And you do have that OB long back there. And this disc, I don't know what it is, but I saw him throwing it all first round, and it's so overstable. You can see how much turn he had on that. He's flirting with that line.
Yep, he is in bounds. Matt is from Georgia, throws a lot of thumbers, tomahawks, very creative lines. I've played with him a few times. Nice guy. Sponsored by MVP, I believe.
Yes. And here's that drop zone spot. Oh, he did it again. And do you move forward from there?
You do not, because he didn't cross.
Okay.
But even if you cross, I'd have to check the caddy guide. I don't think you'd move forward, but
No.
I don't think he crossed anyways.
This is not the start he's looking for. And you can go long right as well. So we'll see if he got this distance right here. Oh yeah, that's a good shot, but you want to be looking for a putt from there.
And we just talked about this. You just said the first hole can get you. He's throwing 6 from there, I believe, and so the best he can do is probably a 7.
Yeah, and that's a tough start to come back from, especially on this front 9. I mean, it's extremely difficult to get birdies. And Nate playing it wide, but he's got to look.
You'd rather be putting from there. You're hyzering away from the water, actually, so he maybe was trying to go there.
That's very true. And here, already getting a thumber out of Dollar right here. Wow.
That's incredible. I mean, that's up the dam, uphill. He's probably almost a standstill from the gravel there.
That's a great shot. And then Kevin with just a little putter right here. Yep, that's perfect. Nice little, about an 18-footer right there, so I expect him to convert that. And Matteo. And just like that, just a little bit, a foot too far, and it can almost creep down to that lake.
You can see how dry it is here. Even Nate, you could just tell he kind of wanted to run it, but that was not a run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's not much room on the backside of that basket, or that pin location, I should say. And if you get over that ledge, it's really only about 15 feet to the water. There's a little bit of stuff to stop it, but you don't want to be down in there. That's a good birdie from Kevin. And looks like Dollar should have a birdie as well. But a wide variety of scores here. But I really like this group. I think it's 4 different players, and I think it'll be an interesting front 18, I should say, front 9 right now. But right here we got hole 2, 615 feet, par 4. How did this one play, Nate?
Average was 4.31 for this round, played as the 8th most difficult hole. About 17% of the field did get the birdie here. And I bet we'll see a lot of different shots. We could see a weird shot from Matt Dollar. He could take a lot of different options here.
Mm-hmm. And I think what Kevin just did there is probably the most common shot is the forehand, because of the way that the hole bends to the right. The real key is just get in bounds off the tee shot and then take your chances on the second shot, because it is a tough green to get to. And like you said, right on cue, Dollar with another thumber. And
that didn't. You would think that would get a forward skip off that hard pan, but that kind of didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's with that MVP disc, or that MVP plastic. I don't know if it tends to jump more, roll more, but it's an interesting disc, I should say.
Sure. That is completely smashed. He's probably only, I'm looking for the 250 stake. There's a yellow stake. He's inside of that. That's an incredible drive from Nate.
And another one from Matteo right here. Missed that bush. Oh, that's way up there. 3 great forehands. And then you got Dollar with his thumber, which he probably wanted to put it there.
And this is a tricky shot because the ground is really hard up by that green. If you get the disc on an angle, it could skip in the water, but he kind of threw it flat. You'll take that from there. He had a really tough shot to get up and down for birdie.
Yeah, and going up that right side, you bring that OB into play up there, and it's not an easy route. And this needs to settle. There you go, inside circle 1. That pine tree right there, I think, is the trickiest part of the green. So he'll probably have to get down on a knee to make that putt. Kevin Jones. That's a good shot from there. You don't see too many hyzers get through all those trees up there.
I like the forehand here from Sexton and Matteo because you're fading away from the water. And it's really tough to get all the way to the OB on that side. So that's a smart shot by Nate. He won't be able to run that putt, though, because he's right behind that tree.
Yeah, that tree saves a lot of birdies, saves them from happening, I should say.
Dollar just threw that disc upside down, Scooby style, and he almost went into the water, actually.
Might be the riskiest shot I've seen on this hole. And just a layup from Nate. Matteo can straddle outside of that. Okay. That's a great birdie. I hope I can get a birdie on this hole one time this tournament.
What have you gone so far?
Par and bogey. Par and double bogey, sorry. So, I'm taking notes right now.
You're taking notes.
Yes.
We did see some rollers last year. I haven't seen one yet. That's the hyper-aggressive play. I saw Ricky throw one way down there, but the forehand seems to be the choice there.
Yeah, I think it's just the most consistent. It's fading away from the water, and it's also going down the fairway, so this is a good hole, though, from the group. what was that? 1 birdie and 3 pars.
I think there were 2 birdies.
Oh, yeah,
Matt
Kevin
and
as well.
Kevin, I believe.
Yep, Kevin as well. 2 birdies. That might be the best of the tournament for a foursome. So we got hole 3, 260 feet, par 3. You can either throw it dead straight or go forehand around. I'm not even gonna say dollars route, but I know what it is.
And then you have the forehand flex line, which we saw yesterday, and we may see it from Kevin. If you take that forehand way left, if you go a B, you're making a 4 at best.
Yep, and here's Kevin. Ooh, that's a little low, but that's the line. It's gonna be safe, maybe inside the circle or just outside over there on the right side. And here's that down the middle line. We might get 4 different routes here. Oh, that's got to get kicked to the right.
And that just really had no chance to be in bounds. This hole actually played as the 4th easiest hole. A third of the field birdied it, but 19% of the field actually bogey or worse.
And here we go with the thumber on the right side. How?
That's incredible. I mean,
how does he do that?
Yeah, this is a FollowFlight here.
First round, he was even closer.
Paul, that actually makes me hurt just watching it. That makes my shoulder just in pain.
Wow, that's a great shot from Dollar. We go Nate with the forehand line, and he's got the flex. Oh, maybe he was going down the middle.
He was taking that up the middle flex line, probably trying to land 30 feet right of the basket. I think that's safer than Kevin's line, because if you go a B over there, you're taking a bigger number.
Yeah, and that's a risky line Nate just threw there, but it worked out great, and he's going to save his par. Here's Kevin. Looks like he's just inside the circle. Great putt. Just outside the circle. There you go, padding those stats.
Turkey.
And 3 in a row. That's a great start.
It is a great start.
I mean, you can't do better, so.
The first 6 holes out here are challenging. There's some birdie opportunities, but it's a challenging start.
Yeah, and that's a great save from Matteo after going OB. He was just outside the circle as well. And here we go, Dollar. With the unconventional birdie on hole number 3.
Have to say thanks to Discraft for continuing to sponsor this event and for bringing us these awesome new Chain Star Pro baskets, which will be raffled off at the end of the tournament for St. Jude.
That's a great cause. I'm glad that they do that here. What is it, 2 years now, 3 years?
This is our 4th year, actually, of raffling the baskets off. So
Wow.
They donate them, and we give all the proceeds here. So, hole 4, Paul, what do we have here?
We got 423 feet, a tricky downhill shot, and then the basket's on a mound. It's really hard to control the speed coming into this hole. I see shots go everywhere, but the key is to not go be right.
This hole, only 12% of the field actually gets it into circle 1 in regulation, and we may have one right there.
That's a great shot. Even though it's in the bushes, that's where you want to be. Like you said, it's in the circle right there, about 20 feet away. But those bushes they're leafy, but they're not too thick. And Dollar with the putter shot. That needs to catch. That's a good kick.
Because he was turning right, he would have been OB.
Yeah, so he can have a chance to save a par from there. That's got to turn a little quicker. Oh, caught the one tree and kicked left over there with Dollar.
If that had kept turning, he would have been to the basket for sure.
Yeah, you can go left of that tree and still get down there. And then Nate, I know that's a dart right there. So that needs to finish. That looks great. That is a great shot right there.
That was a dart?
That was a dart, yep. He calls it a putter, but I think it's a mid-range. So, I think it's funny that the last hole, we saw 4 different routes. This hole, they all went with the putter shot. And was that Dollar that just came out? And then, oh no.
I think that was actually Matty O that came out, and that's his, so he's going to be throwing 4 there, I believe.
Oh, you're right. Wow. So Dollar didn't even go into the woods at all.
Just a layup on, that's such a fast green, you can't run anything. Even Matt can't run this putt.
Yeah, that's tough. You never want to lay it up, especially when it's not even for a par.
Kevin for a 4th straight birdie to open the round.
Wow. That was clean. That's a great start from Kevin.
Can't be any better.
And Nate with 2 birdies again.
That's impressive.
Some swirly vultures.
So we were wrong. That was Dollar's pitch out. So
Okay.
they both took bogeys,
Okay.
not double bogeys. But 2 birdies and 2 bogeys. And now we are on hole 5, 476 feet. This is the baseball field hole. This is an island. I guess technically it's an island. And you have an aggressive line or you can play it safe.
Hole 5 and 6 are the 2 most important holes in the course. They're the 2 most difficult. You could lose your round on these 2 holes.
All right, let's see how they attack it. I know Kevin's going big. He's attacking the basket. That's a good height and line. Wow. Looks like he's going to go 5 for 5.
Incredible. I mean, that's an aggressive line. Great line, though.
And then Nate, I don't think he's going to be as aggressive, but I think he's going to be around circle 2 if he gets this in bounds. Yeah, played it pretty safe, and we'll probably see a layup from there. And then Dollar, I think probably something very similar with that white overstable disc that he likes so much.
This hole had 7 birdies for this round, including yours truly, Paul McBeth.
Got one.
He got one okay. He's on the board. And you can see all those Discraft full color characters. Thanks to Marnie from Discraft for doing all that work for us.
And that's
surprising to see just a layup. I mean, Matt has power.
Yeah, I'm extremely surprised to see that as well. He's not having the best round, but that was a lot shorter than I anticipated.
I think that's him saying, I need to stop making bogeys.
And it could be an extremely smart move. I mean, he could this right here can turn his round around.
Going par here gains strokes on the field, Paul.
Very true. And that looks a little long. Might be a little bit more of a tester than he wanted. And then Nate again with that dart. Just a layup. All right, this is a little heat check right here.
Jeez. You said heat check, and that heat Discraft character was right behind the basket. He just, I would say he's en fuego.
Right on the pole.
On fire.
Yeah, he's got that focus going. Oh no.
You keep using Discraft puns. He has a focus going. You got to stop doing that, Paul.
Good comeback putt for Dollar. Unfortunate bogey, but
At this point in time in the round, Kevin Jones is probably in the lead or tied for the lead. He's 5 under through 5. That's about as good as you can start.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
that's as good as you can start.
Yeah, I mean he's probably got a few stroke lead at this point because the leaders were at 9 under to start, and I mean they better have started out just as hot if they want to keep the lead from Kevin Jones. Here we go with the V formation again. Hole 6, 885 feet, and you said it's the 2 most difficult holes. Is this the most difficult hole?
Sorry for this round. This was actually the 3rd most difficult hole. We'll find out the most difficult hole later. With the pins changing,
That's
13
right.
did change to the most difficult. But it did go to the right pin, and we did see this hole play a little bit easier. There were several birdies on this hole. 8% of the field actually birdied this hole.
Wow, that's great. And then that looks wide. That needs to swing back hard. Oh no.
And that's a really bad mistake.
That
you
is.
Cannot go OB right because he's not going to advance more than maybe 100 feet.
No, and then his second shot, he's going to have to be carrying OB the whole way.
He can't. Even saving a 6 from there is going to be a good score.
Yep. And then that's just a good drive right there from Nate. He can get aggressive and reach the pin if he wants, but he's also got that probably Firebird forehand from there. The Matteo, probably a very similar shot, similar spot, I'd guess.
Only 9% of the field actually gets this hole into circle 2. So that's within 66 feet of the basket on their second shot.
And there's Dollar with that overstable disc. I need to find out what that disc is because he just rips that thing over so hard. But it's a great spot for Dollar.
And see, Kevin's smart here to throw the forehand so he can not play with that OB line. If he throws a backhand, tries to take off too much, he could be rethrowing again. So he's taking his medicine. He's going to take a 5 from there probably.
It looks like he might even have a chance to run at it from there too. So that's a great shot from Kevin. Then Nate with this forehand. Looks like he went with that Excalibur, get a little bit more distance, but again, just playing for the par. That Matteo, he's got the distance to get there.
But you can tell he's not going for it.
Yeah, another safe play. So, unless Dollar goes for this, I don't think we'll see any birdies from this group. Nope, laying up with the thumber.
Once again, my shoulder just hurts watching him do that.
Wow. I don't know if he tries to just get it to flop like that, and sometimes he tries to get it to roll, but each time it's like exactly what you want. There's a good upshot from Nate. I have about 16 feet left for his par.
Whenever Nate has the chance to throw a forehand, he takes it.
Yep. And then Kevin.
I think he was running that, Paul.
Yeah, that was a little aggressive. He's going to have a little bit of a comebacker there. And Matt with just a layup.
Matt always looks stylish with his glasses and his hat. He doesn't look like he's coming to a disc golf tournament.
No, he's a big Bama fan. Isn't that what the head coach used to wear? Is that fedora?
Saban? Oh, okay.
Before
I got
Saban, yeah. Forget that guy's name. But Nate for par. That's a good score. Like you said, it's probably gaining strokes on most of the field.
I mean, that hole plays over a half stroke over par.
Oh, no.
After 5 straight birdies, a double bogey there, that stings, Paul.
Yeah, that's tough. But that's how this course is. You can get 5 in a row, and then the very next hole, no matter what hole, you can just get a double bogey. And I think almost every hole here has that potential.
There's not a lot of safe holes. Even the short par 3s, like this next hole, we saw some 5s.
Yep.
It's not an easy course.
Yep. And I think that's what I like most about this, is it's challenging, not just for the top players, but not just for a pro, but everyone. I like the difficulty of this course the way it's designed because, like we were saying, any hole can be a double bogey or it can be a birdie. But now we're on hole 7, 275 feet, and I think this is one of the easiest holes, one of the must-get birdies, especially after those last 2. This is one where you want to put close and just convert and move on and be happy.
This hole played as the easiest hole, with 53% of the field birding it. I believe we'll see a forehand from Nate, maybe something from Dollar that's not a backhand or a forehand.
That could go a B. That'll be close. But those are the trees. If you get just around those, you can actually have an ace run. And I went off the basket. I almost thought I aced this.
He's throwing something super overstable, but that's what you want to do. You don't want to mess with the left side. Throw something overstable and get it to flex back.
He's only about 20 feet from there. And here we go, another tricky thumber. It's like, oh no, sit down.
Wow.
Oh my. That is a terrible break.
It's a bad break. He was coming in very hot. He probably knew there was a potential to get a weird kick, but that's not.
Oh. Wow. And that's a mistake you shouldn't make with the forehand.
And
He chose to re-tee. Yeah. It's got to come in.
I did talk to somebody that had seen that, and they said that his lie would have been down in the creek, and it was better just to rethrow, which makes sense. You always have the option to rethrow with penalty.
Yeah, once you go B, you always got that option to go from the previous spot. And he, oh
Wow.
I didn't want to cut that off. But I saw someone throw from down there last round, and it's not easy to get to. I mean, there's some spots where it's dried up, and you have to go down to the bottom. There's other spots where you can be up on top. And from the looks of it, he was probably down in that mud down there and chose the smarter shot. And again, he just kind of caught a late tree, or he could have saved a bogey. But great birdie from Matty O. He's picking this round back up after that rough start. And unfortunately for Kevin, 2 double bogeys in a row wipes that 5-under start away.
7 holes, no pars. At least he has more birdies times 2 than double bogeys, so he's under par for the round still.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. It's hard. You know, you feel like you work so hard for those first 5, and then they can just be gone in 2 holes. But now we're on to hole 8, 793 feet. This one has 2 routes really. I mean, you can go right through that middle, or what the drone doesn't show is you can go over those trees on the right side. And this one's difficult, not just the first shot, but the second shot. You know, you got the creek on the left, and then the little creek on the right, or little lake down there, and both are OB and both come into play pretty easily.
Matt likes throwing the flex lines. This is a great flex line hole if you're going up the middle.
Yeah, a little bit shorter and left than I thought he would be going for, but it could be the spot he wants. You know, it could be coming into that mouth over there with a little bit of a hyzer shot. Then Nate with the forehand.
With Nate throwing forehand here, he is pretty much saying, I'm playing for 4. You're not making a 3 taking the forehand line off the tee.
No, not with that distance, unless he goes with another forehand and makes like a long putt, but I don't see him going too far into that mouth. And then Dollar with this white disc again. It might just be that all his discs are white, but this one I feel like he throws every time.
It flies like a force or just an very overstable high-speed driver, but he puts it on some angle.
Yep. And then here's that hyzer line. Not surprised to see Kevin throwing it. I like that line. If the wind's down, it basically takes all those trees out of play, and he got distance on that. He got the carry, and he's probably got the longest shot out of the group right there.
He's well past the rest of the group. I thought he almost hit the water tower there, Paul.
Yep.
Here's Nate. As I said, obviously he has planned this hole to take a 4.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, classic Sexton golf. You know, he takes his shots when he can, and takes the pars where he thinks he's going to gain strokes. That's a great shot from Matty O. Yeah, just outside circle 1. He's going to have a look at birdie from there. Here we go. Another thumber. It's bringing that lake into play. But look, inside the circle. And oh no, inside the circle from Dollar.
That shouldn't count. You shouldn't be able to say, oh no, and get it that close to the basket on one of the hardest holes in the course.
And Kevin Jones. Just a putter shot for Kevin from here. Hyzer putter. Wow. That's about inside 20 feet right there.
I don't think he's going to have a par through hole 8, Paul.
I mean, if you can keep that pace up, that's going to be exciting to watch. Sit down.
And that was a bad shot.
Yeah.
He got lucky that it stayed there.
A foot further, and that's down in the water.
Hole 8 played is the 4th most difficult, so you got 5, 6, and 8, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Very tough stretch. Great putt by Matty O.
Great, but we have the chance to see 3 birdies on this hole. This card is just playing incredible right now. Dollar from inside the circle. That's a great birdie. I can't say I would ever, I don't think I would ever see a thumber birdie on this hole.
No. My question is, if Nate Sexton is listening, what's he doing on this hole? Not making a birdie after watching those other guys, so. I'm just kidding, Nate. We love you.
Yeah. Great birdie from Kevin. Who would have thought taking a par would put you at the back of the card here? Put you at the back of the tee.
And you just heard Nate. Someone asked him, good game plan. He said, yep, that's my plan there. So.
And here we go. The bridge hole. Hole number 9, 354 feet. island hole. I really like this hole. I like it a lot. And what I like about this hole as well is that the green is extremely sticky. So if you hit on the green, you're staying on the green.
And statistically, this hole plays really well. A third of the field birdied it, 35% par, and 31% bogey or worse. So it really is a good range.
Yeah, it's a wide variety for sure. And we got Matty O. Looks like the same disc he threw on the last hole. Inside the circle. That's a great shot from Matty O.
That's all you want here. You don't want to try the bridge birdie route that Callaway tried yesterday.
Not at all. And then Dollar does have more discs than just that white one.
That's the safe play. He'll be inbounds, left, and that's no problem with that.
Yep, that's a birdie look right there. And one thing I want to say about Matty O is he's really coming back after that first hole. I think he's got a chance to get even par or under par after this putt. And Kevin's dancing a little bit there. It might be a little bit more left than he wants, but he's safe.
There's nothing wrong with that. You're probably not going to go OB with a long putt because you have that wall there.
And this is the first forehand I've seen on this hole. This is an interesting shot, but ooh, that's got to hold on.
And I just don't like that play. This is not a lefty hole, and so it shouldn't be a righty forehand hole.
Mm-hmm.
Nate has a good enough backhand where I think he could do just fine putting that up there with a backhand.
Yeah, I think he was looking for a little bit more turn on that drive, but from the drop zone, he put that right there and should be able to save his bogey. And Kevin Jones, 70 feet. This is in his range for sure. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
We are not seeing a par out of Kevin on this front nine.
We have 7 birdies and 2 double bogeys for Mr. Kevin Jones.
Look at that. Got the lean in there. Great putt. We got Dollar from about 40. Oh, just off the right side. Oh no, Matty O. I feel like he needed that one on the front nine to cap it off well. And then Nate for bogey. 1 birdie, 2 pars, and a bogey from this group. But it was a pretty exciting front nine. We saw all sorts of scores. We got Kevin Jones just all over the place, but with a lot of birdies. 7 birdies, like you said. That's incredible on the front nine. If he can clean that up on the back and get rid of those double bogeys, he could come in with a hot score. But there it is. Kevin Jones at 28. Nate and Dollar at 31, and Matty O at 32. There we go. There's the leaderboard. Kevin Jones in second. So he was definitely in first early on. But yeah, exciting front nine. I look forward to seeing what the back nine can offer. Any last words?
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Yep. Thank you.